Hello, my name is Empress Wu, and I was the first woman to rule over China during the Tang Dynasty. I was born February 17th, 624 AD in Lizhou, Sichuan Province, and I died of severe illness on December 16th, 705 AD in Liaoyang. I lived in the imperial capital of Chang'an from the time I was a little girl until I was a teenager, during the reign of Emperor Gaozu. Today, you would call my home Guanyan City in Sichuan. My mother's name was Lady Yang, and my father's name was Wu Shihu. When I was a little girl, I was taught to read, write, and play music. Later on, I was chosen as a concubine for Emperor Taizong. It was hard for me to leave my family and live on as a concubine. During the time, Taizong was impressed with my literary talents. When he died, I was sent to the Ganye Temple to be a nun. Prince Lizi, who later became Emperor Gaozong, was ascended to the throne. While I was studying to be a nun, I was sent to the palace and given the title Zhao Yi, which means a Tang concubine. Empress Yang and concubine Xiao Shufei struggled for the emperor's favor. I was not satisfied with my title, so I made a terrible decision to kill my baby daughter with my own hands and put it in Empress Wang's possession. As a result of framing the empress and my ruthlessness, Gaozong had the empress put to death. That's how I got my role of being the first empress of the Tang Dynasty, and my political career took off. Shortly after my new title, Gaozong had caught an eye disease 660. As usual, I knew that he was weak-minded, and I had to be his little assistant all the time to rule over China with him. As the years passed, Gaozong had died in 683. It was a hard time for me to rule over China because I had to rule by myself. I made some changes, though, and I changed the state title to Zhao. I paid close attention to the military defense at the time, and I improved the agricultural system. Besides making all kinds of different decisions to improve China's status, I didn't have many other challenges. There were many interesting things about my life. For example, I was born with the name Wu Mei Zixin, and I'm known for my brilliance and beauty, and I was one of the greatest supporters of Buddhism in China. I also killed my son, Emperor Ruizong, and proclaimed myself Emperor Zixin in 690. During my life, a lot of science and art was created, such as wood-back printing, new medicines, and new ways of air conditioning in the science community. As for the art, poetry was the most appreciated piece during the Tang Dynasty. All of the Chinese operas, paintings, and poetry that I have seen was astounding and beautiful. The history of the economic development in China during the Tang Dynasty was also extraordinary. As time went by, various programs to reinforce survival and economic improvement grew stronger. During the reign of Emperor Gaozu, irrigation systems used to grow crops in areas of China, which was moistureless but very fertile, improved the economy as well. People of the Tang Dynasty were tied up in the textile technology, especially silk making. They were also engaged in tea leaf processing, porcelain making, paper making, and the ceramics industry, which all of these activities helped boost the economy. China would trade with other countries such as India during the Tang Dynasty. They would often trade common goods such as textiles, silver, gold, medicines, spirits, tea, foodstuffs, and salt. Also, marine trade got led into the Silk Road development. Tang ships would only trade as far as the Persian Gulf. In conclusion, I have had many great accomplishments during my life. I had ups and downs, I got to share many interesting facts, and you got to learn a little bit about how China's art, economics, and science had worked during the Tang Dynasty. I will never forget how far I have come to accomplish my dream. Thank you for your time and appreciation.